Today's Namaste Yoga continues our Yoga Stories 2 series with the Ayur Dehi mantra and nourishing your speech. Hello and welcome to episode 246 of Namaste Yoga. We've had an exciting adventure this morning. We've been in the car for over 2.5 hours. No, not 2.5. It felt like 2.5 hours. But over an hour and a half, searching for a location for you this morning for Namaste Yoga. We were going to go to Royal Roads University and film. Yes, you may think we found the perfect location for you this morning, but we had an even more perfect location for you this morning. We were going to go to Royal Roads University this morning for you and film with this gorgeous castle, Hatley Castle in the background, and it was going to be so romantic and gorgeous. And look, we found this even, we're at Esquimalt Lagoon and we have all these birds and it's beautiful here too. But anyway, the story is we got to Hatley Castle and it was like, oh my God, it's so beautiful. This is going to be so gorgeous. And we went to park and then this big backhoe started unloading to dig and make noise right where we were going to be filming. And it was like my heart sank. And so then we had to start looking again for where we were going to film. So here we are at Esquimalt Lagoon, me and the swans and the geese. And so, they're so beautiful, right? They look really gorgeous. But here's the thing. You know where there are swans and geese and birds, there are swans and geese and bird poop. So you must love me for sitting on poop for you this week. The things I do for you. Okay, so lots of exciting things this week. One of the things that I'm most excited about is the new squeezed hair bands are in. This is something that I asked Donna to make for me, for you, for all of us. I'm really excited about them. So there's 5 colors and we photographed them all yesterday, which means I can start wearing them on the show because they're on the website. So this is the purple one with the little swirls on them. And they're all available on the site. And they're great because you can wear your hair in so many different ways with them. And it keeps your hair off your face when you're doing yoga. If you do hot yoga, I think it's great because, from my one experience of doing hot yoga, that was awful. All the sweat falling in your face all the time. Anyway, they're fantastic, the new headbands, and I'm wearing a long sleeve bamboo top and long black leggings. So that's what's new from Squeeze is the hairbands, and you'll be seeing me wear my hair a whole bunch of different ways with it, which is just great for yoga. And thanks to Dusky Leaf for our props. Today you are going to need a mat and a wall and either a meditation cushion or a folded blanket to sit on. Tim is using all of my props to date as a tripod because he keeps forgetting the tripod every time we come filming lately. But he's not going to forget it ever again. No. 2 times is too many. Today we have a testimonial from Camila from YouTube. And Camila says, Dear Melissa, I wanted to thank you for the work you do. Your videos are easy to follow, and I love the stories behind every class. Because of you, I now do yoga on a daily basis, and this has helped me a very great deal with my anxiety and restlessness. After watching your videos and doing yoga, I feel calm and peaceful. Thank you so much for inspiring me to start to do yoga again. Okay, so thank you so much for leaving your comments and testimonials, and there's information on how to do that on the screen, and we appreciate so much hearing from you. Okay, let's go ahead and get started with our class today. Enough about us. Let's hear about you. Let's get started. So go ahead and rest back on your backs. Lie down, make yourself comfortable. Tuck your shoulder blades underneath you. Bend your knees, place your feet flat on the floor. Press into your feet, lengthen out through your tailbone, and you can either leave your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor, or you can lengthen out through your legs, depending on how your low back is feeling today. And since today is about nourishing your speech, we're going to start by releasing tension from your body through sound. So this can be, this can make people feel a little self-conscious, but you're practicing at home, so maybe don't worry about it. So what you're going to do is inhale through your nose and exhale, release all tension from your body with an audible sigh. And do that several times. Inhale through your nose. And release all tension from your body with some sound. And keep going like that. Really letting go of tension from your body. This reminds me of a class that I was in recently, about a week ago, and there was a woman in the class beside me, and she made noises all the way through the class. And I was noticing my discomfort with that through the whole class. But you should keep making noises right now. This is a part of the way we're going to release tension right now. And then if you don't have your knees bent, I would like you to bend your knees now. And you're going to, with your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor, roll your head from side to side. And do this to stretch out your neck. So inhale with your head in the center. Exhale, roll your head to the side. And then bring your head back into the center. And in the center, I want you to make a really big wow with your mouth. So, and you're going to make this noise again. So you're going to say, wow, 5 times. Wow. 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 And then roll your head all the way to the right and make that wow sound 5 more times, really moving your mouth. Wow. 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 Bring your head back to the center. Roll your head to the left, all the way to the left, and wow 5 more times. Wow. 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 And just notice if you have any discomfort with making that noise out loud. And then from here, either roll to your side or rock yourself up and come up onto all fours. And we're going to do some cat-cow here. So you're going to come onto all fours with your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. We just have quite an entourage here today, don't we? So when we do cat-cow today, actually, let's set this up. We're going to do it with a smile exercise. So you're going to smile. And the reason why we're going to do this is that when we speak, we do so that our speech is nourishing, and we speak to we can speak with the intention that our speech is nourishing, and we can speak with a smile so that our speech is kind. When we speak with a smile, so that it will be more nourishing and kind. So this exercise is a face yoga exercise, and when we practice it, it helps to lift the corners of our mouth so that we are not so frowny and, So you don't want a face that's kind of permanently stuck here, right? It would be nicer to have a face that's with the corners of your mouth lifted. So you're going to smile and stick your tongue out above your lip. And we're going to do cat-cow while you're doing that. So come on to all fours. And hands on your shoulders, knees under your hips. Smile. Tongue out. and breathe while you do that. And it's a good thing you're at home, because if you drool on your mat, I will not be surprised. So here we go. Now you're going to take your tongue and bring it over to the right corner of your mouth while you're smiling. And then over to the left corner of your mouth while you're smiling. Great. And then come back to center. You did it. That's like a little bit of brain gym there too. We're going to do the Ayur Dehi mantra while we do our mudra now. I was thinking this morning we should have called this series Mantras and Mudras instead of Yoga Stories, but well, hindsight is 2020. We're going to do the Vishuddha chakra mudra, and the way this works is you interlace your fingers together towards your palms, and then you join the tips of your index fingers and your thumb, so you form two interlocking rings there. So you're going to hold this mudra at the level of your throat and feel the spaciousness in your throat and your neck as we sing the mantra. And this helps to benefit the health of your thyroid and your parathyroid glands. It benefits your voice. It reduces tension in your neck. It improves communication with yourself and others. And it increases the sensitivity of the thoughts and feelings your sensitivity of the thoughts and feelings of others too. So as we sing the mantra today, because we're talking about nourishing your speech today, pay attention to the sound of the mantra and the vibration of the mantra in your throat and your body today. So we'll sing this one time through in call and response. And you guys will hold the mudra, and I'll focus on the singing, making space with breath and a sigh. Ayur Dehi, Ayur Dehi, Pranam Dehi, Pranam Dehi, Apanam Dehi, Apanam Dehi, Vyanam Dehi, Vyanam Dehi, Chakshur Dehi, Chakshur Dehi, Mano Dehi, Mano Dehi, Vacum Dehi, Vacum Dehi, Atmanam Dehi, Atmanam Dehi, Pratishtham Dehi, Pratishtham Dehi, Mam Dehi, Mam Dehi, Mai Dehi, Mai Dehi. So continue to hold the mudra, and we'll be ready to receive the teachings for this week. So this week we focus on the 8th line of the mantra, the Ayur Dehi mantra, Vacum Dehi. May my speech be nourished. So what does it mean to have nourishing speech? Do your words nurture and nourish others? Are they loving and kind? Do they follow the first yam of ahimsa, non-violence? For example, we could say that we shot an episode of Namaste Yoga today, but I always prefer to say that we filmed an episode of Namaste Yoga today. So is your speech positive and uplifting? Do you listen as much as you speak, or do you talk excessively? Tim and I were talking about that this morning, and one of our favorite sayings, it's quite cute, and it's an easy way to remember this too, and he was reminding me about this morning, is that you have 2 ears and 1 mouth, and you should use it accordingly in that ratio. Use your ears twice as much as you use your mouth. And we love that one. We remind each other of that one often. So when we think about nourishing speech, it's important to think about that ratio of listening and speaking. And, this follows on the heels of nourishing our ears and nourishing our hearing. So perhaps you even speak mostly about yourself, or even indulge in gossip. And it's important to reflect on these things when we think about nourishing our speech. Sometimes being unable to hold silence can be very unnourishing, because it doesn't give quieter people the space to speak or be heard. Additionally, holding confidences and being trustworthy in your communication, both in speaking and listening, is a huge part of nourishing speech. Of course, part of nourishing speech is having a full, resonant voice, clearly communicating both with yourself and others, as well as being a good listener. So this week, I challenge you to notice both the way in which you speak, the sound of your voice, but also the sound of the silence and spaciousness when you are not speaking. You may even want to challenge yourself to take a vow of silence for an hour, 2 hours, a half a day, or even a day. On our membership site, we have an at-home self-retreat with instructions on how to take a day of silence. And I've linked to that in the show notes for this class. So creating the space for your voice and giving it a rest can do wonders for your energy, but also for the resonance of your voice. So reflect on these teachings and what they mean to you in your life. What does it mean for you to create space for nourishing speech in your life? Both the resonance of your voice, and in order for your voice to have resonance, there needs to be space around your voice for that sound to vibrate. So what does silence mean to you as well? And then go ahead and form an intention of what it is you want to receive from today's class. What is it that you're trying to create, sustain, release, or rebirth in your life right now? So once you've formed your intention, you can start to make your way up to standing. And from standing, we're going to continue to release your neck. So drop your ear to your shoulder. And then other side. And bring your head back to the center and turn your head to one side like an owl and turn it far enough that you feel a stretch in your neck. Relax your shoulders. And then turn your head the other direction. And then bring your chin down to your chest. And then you're going to gently roll your head around in front, both directions. And then bring your head back to the center. And from here, we're going to do another face yoga exercise to release tension in your jaw and to create space in your mouth for resonance. And it's also a good one to reduce the lines of the nasolabial folds. But we're doing it more to release tension in your jaw and just to create less tension in your face too. So take a deep breath in. And then you're going to fill your cheeks with air. Like a chipmunk, and keep them filled and just keep breathing. And then you're going to move the air over to your left. And then over to your right. And then up to the upper lip. And then down to your lower lip. And then release and just check in and see how the space in your mouth and jaw is more relaxed. Just feel how there's more spaciousness there. Maybe we'll even do another wow just now, just to see how much more resonant your voice is. Wow. Good. And then we're going to do Goddess Victory Squat with Singhasana. So Utkatta Konasana, Goddess Victory Squat with Lion's Breath, Singhasana. So take your feet wide to 10 and 2 o'clock, and you're going to sit down. Bring your arms up and ignore this arm, which is no longer rotating back. And we're going to stick your tongue down to your chin and eyeballs up to your third eye, and then you're going to roar like a lion. Okay, so inhale. Let's do that 3 times. And one more time. Great. And then you're going to come down onto your backs. And if you've got a wall, you're going to use a wall, because we're going to do shoulder stand now to stretch out your back of your neck and your shoulders. Okay, so the safest way to come into shoulder stand is to use a wall, which I don't have, but I'm going to try to describe it without using a wall, and I would encourage you to use a wall. We have a whole episode on beginners inversions where I teach you how to come into shoulder stand, and you could take a look at that. But I can talk you through it here too. So if you've got a wall, you're going to put your hip right up against the wall and swing your legs around so they're up the wall. And then once you've got your legs up the wall, you're going to bend your knees and place them against the wall. And you could just stay here with your legs up the wall. And if you're menstruating, this would be probably a great place to stay, because your pelvis isn't inverted. And you may even want to just avoid this altogether if you're menstruating. Also, once you've got your knees bent, your feet flat against the wall, what you're going to do is press into the wall. And once you press into the wall, what's going to happen then is your spine's going to start to peel up off the ground. And when you do that, what you can do is start to walk your elbows in underneath you and start to prop yourself up. So you're going to start to prop yourself up. So then you've got your knees bent, your feet flat on the wall, you got your elbows underneath you, and you're holding yourself up. Then if you could easily take one leg off the wall, you take one leg off the wall. If you could take the other leg off the wall without kicking, then you can take the other leg off the wall. Otherwise, you just keep both legs on the wall, or one leg on the wall and one leg off the wall. Okay, so ultimately you're coming into shoulder stand pose. which looks like this. Okay, so coming into it this way, you got to be really careful of your neck and not to hurl yourself too far. So this is a pose you do need to be careful of if you've had any injuries. So you can also just roll yourself up like this, walk your elbows in, walk your hands up your back. But not advisable for beginners because you have to know where you're going and how far to go and all of that as well. So this is where you're going, kind of a supported shoulder stand. Keeping your head in the center is really important. So to come down, you're going to place one foot on the wall and the other foot on the wall, and then slowly roll down through your spine with control. And then bend your knees, roll to your side, and come over onto your belly. We're going to be on our bellies now. So on your bellies, we're going to do Sphinx pose. You're going to take your hand underneath your shoulders, press into your forearms, tuck your pubic bone into the ground, press your toes into your right toe into the ground, reach through your heel, lengthen out through your hip flexors. Do that on both sides just to create a little bit more length on your low back. And then from here, we're just going to do a little bit more releasing for your neck. So just tuck your chin down to your chest and then roll it back up. And then do some scoops in front too. And then you can slowly lower yourself down first. And from here, push yourself onto all fours. Draw your knees up underneath you. Sit back on your heels and rest in child's pose. You could also come onto your back with your knees into your chest if this position doesn't work for you. And then roll up to seated. Bring your legs straight out in front of you. And bend your left leg in. Cross your left leg over your right leg. Keep your right leg out long. Have your whole left foot on the ground, your whole left buttocks on the ground. Wrap your right arm around your left leg, turn towards it for a twist. And then again, just circle your chin to your chest to release your neck. Bring your head up to the center and then add to the rotation of your spine by turning your head all the way over your shoulder. And then back in the other direction over the other shoulder. And back center. And then cross your left leg all the way over your right leg. And here it would be good to have your hips elevated so that it's easier to tip your pelvis forward. Pull the flesh out. Inhale here. Exhale, hinge forward until you feel some tension along the back of your leg here. And then slowly back up to seated. Uncross your left leg, lengthen your left leg out. Slide your right leg in. Cross your right leg all the way over your left leg. Inhale, lengthen up tall through your spine. Feel your whole right foot on the ground, your whole right buttocks on the ground. Wrap your left arm around your right leg. Turn towards it. Place your right hand at the base of your spine. And then circle your neck again. Now add a rotation of your neck so that you're looking over your shoulder, but pay attention to your neck too. So honor your neck. When you need to stop, stop. I don't think those geese are talking very nicely to each other over there. It's not very nourishing speech happening. And then come back to the center. And you're going to rotate your neck all the way the other way. So now you're looking over the other shoulder. Counter rotation. And then come back to the center. Cross your right leg all the way over your left leg. Move your flesh out of your way. And inhale here. Exhale, you're going to hinge forward over your left leg just until you feel that resistance along the back of your left leg. And I love the sound of the pigeons' speech, their voice. They're cooing. So sweet. It's an odd place to see pigeons, isn't it, in a lagoon? You think of them as city birds. I think of them as city birds. Slowly make your way up to seated. Uncross your right leg and then slowly rest down on your back for Shavasana. Tuck your shoulder blades underneath you. Take a deep breath in. Let it fall out of your mouth. And you can stay resting here, and I will sit up to read a poem to you. So Shavasana is a great time for you to allow your body to integrate the teachings. So I'm going to read you a poem by Mary Oliver called Percy Wakes Me. And as always, when I share a poem or a quote during your Shavasana, it's like when you are shopping for clothes. Sometimes you might take something off the rack, and if you don't like it, you can always just put it back on the rack. So if you like it, you get to keep it. And if you don't like it, put it back on the rack. Percy wakes me, and I am not ready. He has slept all night under the covers. Now he's eager for action. A walk, then breakfast. So I hasten up. He is sitting on the kitchen counter where he's not supposed to be. How wonderful you are, I say. How clever if you needed me to wake me. He thought he would hear a lecture, and deeply his eyes begin to shine. He tumbles onto the couch for more compliments. He squirms and squeals. He has done something that he needed, and now he hears that it is okay. I scratch his ears. I turn him over and touch him everywhere. He is wild with the okayness of it. Then we walk. Then he has breakfast. And he is happy. This is a poem about Percy. This is a poem about more than Percy. Think about it. I just want to repeat the last 3 lines of that poem. This is a poem about Percy. This is a poem about more than Percy. Think about it. So go ahead and allow your breath to deepen. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Bend your knees, roll to your side, and go ahead and make your way up to seated. And you can sit cross-legged, sitting on a meditation cushion, or you can sit on a chair, or you can kneel on your block. And by finishing our class together with a mantra, we take all the benefits of our practice and we offer it to others. So we come together as a community and take all the benefits that we've received from our practice and we offer it to the benefit of all beings. That's why we finish our class with a mantra. So we finish with the Ayur Dehi mantra with the Vishuddha chakra mudra. And to do the Vishuddha chakra mudra, you interlace your fingers together down towards the pads of your hands, and then you bring your index finger and thumbs together. And you bring that at your throat. So we will sing the mantra 3 times to close. Making space with breath and a sigh. Ayur Dehi, Pranam Dehi, Apanam Dehi, Vyanam Dehi, Chakshur Dehi, Shrotam Dehi, Mano Dehi, Vacum Dehi, Atmanam Dehi, Pratishtham Dehi, Mam Dehi, Mai Dehi. Ayur Dehi, Pranam Dehi, Apanam Dehi, Vyanam Dehi, Chakshur Dehi, Shrotam Dehi, Mano Dehi, Vacum Dehi, Atmanam Dehi, Pratishtham Dehi, Mam Dehi, Mai Dehi. Ayur Dehi, Pranam Dehi, Apanam Dehi, Vyanam Dehi, Chakshur Dehi, Shrotam Dehi, Mano Dehi, Vacum Dehi, Atmanam Dehi, Pratishtham Dehi, Mam Dehi, Mai Dehi. Thank you so much for joining me for episode 246 of Namaste Yoga. If you liked today's show, share it with a friend or a coworker. Click like. Leave your comments below. I'd love to hear from you about how you plan to nourish your speech, or maybe let me tell you what today's question is. I have a question for you today. What does it mean for you to have nourishing speech or to have your speech nourished? Leave that in the comments below. And I am sending you so much love from beautiful British Columbia. Me and the swans and the seagulls and the geese and the pigeons. May you experience the strength of our mountains, which are in front of me, hidden by the clouds today. May you be as rooted as the trees in our forest, and may your joy be as deep as the Pacific Ocean, which is also in front of me right now. Namaste.
Well, the video is complete for Namaste Yoga 246. And Melissa, the sacrifices you make, here you are with your rubber boots at low tide, basically filming in poop. But the swans were lovely.
Melissa would love to hear your questions and thoughts. Please leave your comments below the video. Thank you for your reviews on iTunes and YouTube. Your reviews help us to share yoga and a yoga lifestyle with others around the world. If you have a question for Melissa, you can leave a voice message at melissawest.com, and Melissa may answer it in an upcoming blog.